Hey guys, what's up? So, give you a little bit of backstory on my last video, which I'll post right here. I talked about the fact that I had my front left caliper lock up and was causing me some issues going down the road, and so had to do that constituted getting in here and doing a brake job. And instead of just replacing one caliper, I decided I'm in here, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to replace the entire front brake system, and in addition to that, go ahead and replace my shocks. And I've already done that part right there, since it was pretty straightforward. Went ahead and did the shocks, both front and back. These are Gabriel Ultra shocks. They're called Ultra Truck. I didn't know they were gonna be white. So whatever, they're gonna, I don't know, they don't look bad. You're not really gonna see them plainly, I don't think, with the wheels on. But yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd be black or some other color, darker color than white. But in any case, you know, function over form in this scenario. So the plan is this. Okay, I am going to be replacing the calipers, both of them, the brake lines, the rotors, and the pads. The bearings are already done. I did a YouTube short about that. That was pretty straightforward. Not going to replace those again. That doesn't make any sense. I am going to attempt to clean up the outside of that hub though, just to make it look pretty. That's not necessary, but I would prefer it looking a little bit better than that. Again, the word try is the operative word here. I got some, so let me tell you about the hardware I got. I got some centric rotors and pads, and my calipers are FVP, which apparently is Wagner. So this is their in-house brand. They are pretty good quality, so let me show you those really quick. So here are the new calipers. These are remanufactured FVPs. I was pretty pleased with how they turned out. The thing is that, well, I intended to paint them anyway. I'll get to that in a second, but I ended up really, actually needing to paint them. When they arrived, one was zinc plated and the other was raw cast iron. So I was like, wow, that's not gonna fly at all. So I went ahead and painted them both back black with some duplicolor caliper paint. So this is the same exact paint and color that I used on my Buell calipers, both of them, front and rear, and it has held up extraordinarily well. And so I thought, well, if it did well there, it's gonna likely do pretty well here. So I removed all the hardware and taped off some stuff, and Bob's your uncle. I got some nicer looking calipers. You may be wondering why I didn't paint them red. It's because they're stock. I just never got into that. I never did. I always thought that was kind of, it's not my thing, just gonna say it that way. So I do want to show you something. Let's go back over to the Mazda. I want to show you something else over there. So in preparing for the brake job, I do intend to bleed the entire brake system. Since I'm going to be pulling off the front hoses, I want to get all new brake fluid flowing through this system. And I was going to put some lubricant on the definitely the rear wheel cylinders, the bleeder screws back here, And obviously the stuff I got to remove up there, that's all got some of the same lubricant on it. But I've found out something I actually have never experienced before. Maybe some of y'all have. So definitely other Mazda owners probably have this scenario or know this. I've owned multiple RX-7s, and it's not the case with the RX-7, but definitely with this B series pickup. But if you will look, I have a bleeder screw right here. And again, like I said, I was putting some lubricant on that to avoid, snapping that sucker off in the middle of trying to bleed my brakes. And on the other side over there, let's see if I can zoom you in. There is no bleeder screw over there. These are linked together into one bleeder screw. Threw me off. I've never seen that, ever. I've worked on a lot of different vehicles. I just never have seen that before until now. I actually kind of like it. If you think about it, the rear brakes are linked anyway. Basically, the system's, split in two. You have front and rear. And if you're going to bleed the back, it makes sense to me to bleed it all from one location. And, the Japanese model, which would be right-hand drive, at least I'm pretty sure this was shipped in Japan. I don't know, fact check me on that one. But anyways, this would be the furthest wheel cylinder from the right-hand drive master cylinder up there. But it doesn't matter because as the system is bled, whether or not this is a left-hand drive only pickup, regardless of country or whatever, the fluid has to travel all the way to that side, then to this side. So this still, regardless, is the furthest point from the master cylinder. So I don't know. It actually makes things pretty easy to deal with. I don't know if guys, when they do wheel cylinders on this truck, if they get rid of that, but the day comes when I do it, I'm definitely keeping it. I'm not gonna undo that. I like that simplified setup. So, that it does mean that the rear brakes are actuating at the same time. Okay, that's fine. That's not horrible news. They're going to do that anyway because of the way hydraulic action works. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. This is what the rear shocks look like, and I'm noticing that I'm not going to undo it. It's kind of silly of me. I got the sticker facing inward on this side and it's facing outward on the other side. So you'll see the sticker, the Gabriel Ultra sticker, staring you in the eyeballs on the other side, maybe. I don't know. You may not see it at all or barely see it at all whenever the truck is going down the road, but whatever. That gets you a better look at my welding job. That is show quality right there, man. I wish I had a TIG welder. I think something like that would have gone a lot easier, but it didn't, and I don't. So, anyways, all right, let's get going on these brakes. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I am gonna do or just film one side because I'll be doing the same thing on the other side as I'm doing on this side. So this is by no means a how-to video. This is just how I am doing things. I'm sure you're used to hearing that disclaimer from most YouTubers. All right, let me bring it back to where I got to. So this was, the fitting was fighting me pretty bad. I thought maybe it was trying to cross thread, and even started checking on the old brake hose, and it wasn't an issue. Actually, what was going on, this is just for those of you who might do this yourselves in the future. This fitting kind of went ovular a little bit, and so it fought me trying to get it started. It kept starting to thread, and then it would act like it was the wrong thread pitch. For those of you who know exactly what I mean by that. So it had me worried, like, man, did I somehow get the wrong brake lines, brake hoses, sorry? And no, I didn't. It's just that fitting kind of did the thing. In any case, another consideration is, this is not a big deal, but that little, I guess, hook did not quite go inside that hole, even though I was definitely trying to get it to bend and get in there. It just wouldn't go. It's not aligning right. So I went ahead and torqued it down. It torqued down just fine. I don't, I mean, there's a possibility it could give me some trouble in the future. I will be checking every time I pull the wheels off. I'll check that. And putting new copper washers on is not a big deal. I could even get, maybe, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, I might get loosen this up and get a brass punch and hit that a couple times to see if I can get it to get started, and then torque it down from there. In any case, order operations is to complete the other side, and then I'm going to be bleeding the rear brake, as mentioned before. So I'll bleed the back brake first, and then the passenger side, and then this driver's side. Of course, half the master cylinder is all over the floor. Whatever. Gravity bleeding it. Anyway, so yeah, the other thing that I had to fiddle with was the brake hardware. I was putting it into the slots backwards, and essentially it only goes really one way. There's a long side and a short side, as you might be able to tell, there and there. And I had reversed it, and I didn't realize what was going on. So some of the fiddling you're seeing me do in the video is me dealing with that. And then obviously forgetting to grab tools, going to grab tools, grabbing the wrong tool, and yeah, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and stop filming here, and then we'll come back once everything's buttoned up and I got it on the ground, and I'll talk through any other things that came up. So otherwise this video is going to be about 2 hours long. Oh, one other thing. I did not repack the wheel bearings. The grease is fine. I literally just replaced these wheel bearings and seals. So I didn't see any reason to repack them. There was plenty of grease in them. I just re-tightened down the bearing and popped everything back together. Bob's your uncle. And yeah, I think we're in good shape on this. So again, let me get this other side done, and we'll come back at the very end when I've got everything on the ground, and I'll just talk through some things. All right, guys, like I said, we got everything done. Everything went very straightforward, no big issues. This side, zero drama over the brake hose. So anyways, everything's bled, all brand new. What's that stuff called? Brake fluid. And went ahead and just did a quick bleed on my clutch really quick, just to make sure it's dialed in. And since I had the bleeder out, yeah, so I'm gonna go for a drive and enjoy my brake job in my super cold AC. So until next time, y'all. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I do want to thank you for tuning in. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you don't, pretend that you do. And now, until next time, peace out and keep it between the ditches.